Hey guys, it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but welcome back to another episode of the Webmoss Podcast. It's been an extremely long time since I've done one, last I checked. I'm currently walking my dog Vanilla, so if you see me stumbling around a lot and fumbling with my words, that's because I'm Vanilla's warning or something. But anyways, so today I just learned about something incredible. So apparently, first part of this I already knew. But in 2020, Archie, I think, got some of the rights to Sonic Underground. So on their online comic book series of Sonic Universe, because they still make comic books but online, and it was Sonic Universe issue 50, and it was going to be a Sonic Underground comic book, and then in 2000 I think late 2020 or early 2021, we got the official cover of the comic book, and one picture that would be inside, and the title, which would be the Swan Song, and then that was it. That's all we had. Well, 2021, November 17th, the comic book officially released. And it was the conclusion to the Sonic Underground story. A canon conclusion. Let me rephrase that. A canon conclusion. Because we've had many fan-made conclusions, but never a canon, an official canon one. And this one is official and canon made by Archie. So this is amazing. And I just today found out about it. And because I kept up with dates saying when are they going to release this? When are they going to be done? When are they going to release this? And then I eventually forgot about it. Until today, I thought, hey, you know what? I wonder how that's going. And I looked, and bam, there it was. So this episode is talking about the return of classic Sonic shows. 3 in particular ones I'm talking about. So let's get into this. So, this is pretty crazy. Also, I have an intro now to my episodes. Yeah. The time I'm making this episode, I don't have an intro, but I paused talking for a second there because I'm going to put an intro in there because that's what I'm going to do from now on. Because podcasts usually have intros, so I'm going to have that. But anyways, so let's start off with the first show on my list, Sonic Saturday AM. It was a 2-season long show, and it was an awesome show, but it was sadly canceled due to Power Rangers. That's a long story I don't want to go into on why it was canceled for that. But, and we wanted season 3, and we hated that it was canceled. And also because of the fact that season 3 was going to take a really dark path. And the Archie comics are kind of like a season 4 to Saturday AM, but they aren't season 3. Now, there was a comic book series there was a season 3 comic book series, but I don't think that even had a conclusive ending. I think it didn't release this last issue or something like that. I think that was canceled too. And this was really disappointing. And we were they left us off on this horrible cliffhanger on the show. And that's how it was for many years. Well, I don't remember what year it was. Was it 2019 or 2018? I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2018. This poster got released of season 3 of Sonic Saturday AM. And it was released by a fan of the show. Just a fan. They had made the poster. Vanilla, come on. Stop trying to go that direction. Sorry. We're having dog issues. But he's trying to go away. He can't go. But, so this fan released it. And he made it. And then something crazy happened. Because I think the next year or a few years later, it was suddenly I'm hearing dog bark. Hopefully that dog's in there. The dog sounds near. That dog is there. I see that dog. That dog is out. That dog is at the top of my driveway. I'm going in. Let's go in, Vanilla. Let's go in. I see a dog outside. Sorry about that. I had to put my dog up. But, okay. So we're moving into Inside. At least I won't be more around a bunch. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so excited I am. But anyways, so season 3. That was to have this poster and everything. So a few years later, or a year later, I'm not entirely sure how long it was, depending on when this poster was made, a fan, and a bunch of fans actually got the rights, or at least most of the rights, to the show, surprisingly enough. I think it was all the rights, actually, to the show, and the colors and all that, and got permission to release their own season 3 on YouTube and make it canon. Okay. So they were doing this, and they even released a little bit of a teaser. It didn't show anything, but it just showed how the show was going to look and how who was going to be doing the voice acting and stuff. But for Sonic and Sally, and it didn't show the uncast, but I think we know what they're going to sound like. But it's still 2022, and they still haven't finished making the show. But every once in a while, the YouTube channel shows little updates where they show them doing the artwork and stuff. And I feel like they're coming to a close pretty soon, but it probably will release it will probably won't release until next year. But let's be honest, if they've been doing it for this long, it probably won't release until next year. But hey, they got the rights to it, and now we're going to see what was shown in the comic books in an actual show format, plus more. So, hey, that's pretty cool. Whenever that happens. So yeah, Sonic Slam is coming back whenever they decide. They said that they didn't want to release the season until they got every single episode done. And they said they want to make sure it was perfect, so they may be taking a while on this. And they make sure that it's perfect. Well, then there is Sonic Underground, which I don't remember what year it ended, but I think it started in 1999, one of the years of Sonic Adventure. I think. I don't know. Don't take my word on that. But so that's what they did. That was the big deal, and they made the show, and it was going away from the new modern look of Sonic. Instead, they were going back to the classic look for the show. It has Sonic and Manic and Sonya, Sonic's brother and sister. If you don't know who Manic and Sonya are in the show, is his brother and sister that aren't canon. Well, it's kind of complicated. Sonic Underground is canon to the games, but it's based in a parallel universe to the games. You're saying, how do I know that? Well, because in the Archie comics, which have been confirmed to be canon to the games, in the same universe, in the Archie comics, Sonic goes to the Sonic Underground universe, which is a parallel universe, and visits his parallel self in Sonic Underground. Tell you that Sonic Underground is canon to the games, just in a parallel universe. So Sonic Underground is parallel universe to the games, not its own thing. It's still technically in the canonicity, surprisingly enough, just in a parallel universe. But, anyways, let's continue. So Sonic Underground happened. All 40 episodes, and there was going to be more. There was going to be a season 2. And it never happened. It was canceled. Season 2 was meant to feature Sonic going super, along with Manic and Sonya going super. It was going to feature... It was going to introduce Tails into the show. It got canceled. It was also going to show, because after the first, you only see Uncle Chuck in the first episode, but it was going to, and you see that what he looks like when he gets robot size, and then you never see him again. Well, it was season 2 was supposed to show Uncle Chuck robot size, and they would have to fight him and stuff, along with their other friends and family who got robot size that we never saw again. Well, like I said, season 2 never happened. It was canceled, and they kind of left us off on a cliffhanger. Sonic and his kid and his siblings never reunited with their mother. We never got to find out who Sonic's father was, which we were meant to find that out in season 2. And then, we never found out who their real father was, because Sonic had a fake father and mother. Manic had a fake father. Sonya had a fake mother. But Cream and Lane was their real mother, but we never figured out who their real father was, and that was meant to be set in season 2. But it was canceled, so none of that ever happened. Now, I did hear that there was a rumor, actually, take back, I'm not going to what I was about to talk about, I'm going to talk about something else. There was a rumor that there was a video game released on the Sega Genesis around the time of the Sega Saturn being out, which already tells you that this rumor was false, because Sonic Underground wasn't out by then. You're saying that how this rumor exists, the rumor existed after the Saturn ended, after Dreamcast was towards its end. it came, like, this rumor began, like, I think around the GameCube time. The rumor was that when the Saturn was failing, Sega went back to the Genesis and made a Sonic Underground video game that was only had a few copies ever sold. And there was, like, screenshots of, like, the cover shown and in-game stuff, and there was a clip of, like, what the start screen looked like, but there was so little information known about it that it was obviously false. I believed it for many years and thought it was official. I even told people that this was the case. And I found out towards the end of last year, that it wasn't the case. And I was like, dang it. I mean, there are Sonic Underground video games, don't get me wrong, there are 3 of them. But they're just like first-person, kind of like small first-person shooter games that weren't even made by Sega. They're made by third-party companies, and they're handheld. And there was one of Sonic, and then there was one of Manic, and there was one of Sonya. You could still get the Sonic one. I even watched someone play it. I think it was Peanut. He played it, I think. But as for Sonya and Manic's copies, their versions of the game, where you play as them instead, you can't find those anymore. You can find pictures of them, but you can't find them anymore online. But, so yeah, they're all games, technically. But this game, we want to talking about is because it said that there was a secret unlockable last level that was what was meant to be the ending of Sonic Underground. But of course that's not true, sadly. I wish the game would exist. But anyways, then there were a few comic books. Here's the thing. After Sonic Underground's end, there was a comic book released by Archie. Like I said, was Archie Sonic, which is the game Sonic, goes and visits Sonic in the Underground universe, and Manic as well, and Sonya too. But it doesn't even last the whole comic book. It only lasts a tiny bit in the comic book. But they do it, and hey, we get some more Sonic Underground stuff, and that is based on after the show. So it's based on based in between season 1 and what was going to be season 2. And then, don't take my word on this, but I did hear that there were comic books, like I think 3 of them, that were based after what was going to be season 2 and after Sonic and them already met their mother. Don't take my word on that. I could easily be wrong with that, but I think they were. But anyways, so that's it. And Sonic Underground didn't have official, like, the characters didn't have eye color. They just had pupils, like classic Sonic. But the official artwork for Manic and Sonya did give them eye color. And Manic's eyes were blue, and Sonya's eyes were purple. And there was also artwork of Kremlin, and her eyes were pink. Well, apparently, I guess the fans didn't like that choice for the eye colors. I don't think they mind Kremlin's, but they did not apparently like Sonya's choice of eye color and Manic's choice of eye color for some random reason. I don't know why. But you're saying, why did you guess that? Because the fact that most of the fan artwork and stuff on DeviantArt and stuff shows Manic with orange eyes instead of blue, and shows Sonya with green eyes instead of purple. And even on Sonic Colors, there is a little Easter egg of Manic in the game. If you go to the bonus levels where you could get the Chaos Emeralds, you can change Sonic's color. Well, one of his color patterns is green with orange eyes, and I looked it up. That's a reference to Manic. He has orange eyes there instead of blue, and that was because of the fact that the fans, I guess, preferred orange eyes colors, even though it wasn't official. And I never got that. I thought Manic always looked weird with orange eyes. Sonya, I didn't mind having green eyes, but I was like, just keep it. Why not? Why do you have such a big deal with them having the official eye color? What's so wrong with Manic having blue eyes? It looks better that way. What's so wrong with Sonya having purple eyes? I mean, come on. What's the problem with that? I mean, sure, I think Sonya would look better with green eyes, but doesn't mean I have a problem with her having purple. Well, that's how it was for a long time. And Sonic Underground, of course, was over and all that, so there was nothing. Well, like I said, and years later, 22 years later, let's be honest, it finally released the official ending. It released in a comic book form by Archie, not in a show form, sadly, by DIC, I think, were the people who released the show. This wasn't a final episode released by them. This wasn't an episode released by Sega. This was a comic book released by Archie. Online, not for sale. Online. But it's a canon ending to the show. And I loved it. I read it, and I was so happy. I was jumping up and down. I was reading it, and I loved it. Because Sonic Underground is what made me a Sonic fan. A lot of Sonic fans don't like Sonic Underground because they say it's cheesy, and I can see why they think that. But I loved it, and it's what made me a Sonic fan. And I've seen every Sonic show, played almost every Sonic game, and Sonic Underground and Sonic the Black Knight are the two things that made me a Sonic fan. First Sonic Underground, the first I watched that, and that made me a Sonic fan. And then the first Sonic game I ever played was Sonic the Black Knight, and that made me a Sonic fan. That made me even more of a Sonic fan. But Sonic Underground was what got me into Sonic. So to get this was incredible for me. And Manic was always my second most favorite Sonic ever. First being Sonic, of course, but Manic was my second. I loved Manic. I implemented him all my I make my own comic books, and I implemented Manic into them as like one of the main killers constantly because I love Manic so much. I also said I wanted a Manic action figure as a kid, but they didn't make those, so But, I mean, maybe they did and they just don't have them anymore, but I highly doubt that. I haven't seen even a picture of official Manic toy, so, no. But, so to finally get this conclusive ending to Sonic Underground was awesome. And I think he did it I think he did it almost perfectly. I say almost, because there were a few things I'd like to mention. Like, there was no mention to their real father. Sure, this was one comic book, so he had to finish it off. He couldn't throw in a bunch of random stuff, but there was no mention of Sonic's father. That never got revealed who that was. We know in the Archie and video game universe it's Jules, but in the Sonic Underground universe we don't know who it is. So even though we were meant to find out who their father was in season 2, this comic book doesn't show who their father is. So that's left as a mystery, kind of. And then another thing is their eye color. See, you're thinking, oh, well, they probably did it to the fans' pleasement. They probably made Sonia's eyes green and made Meg's eyes orange because of what the fans wanted, and didn't do the official eye color. Well, no, actually, they didn't do that. Instead, they gave Sonia, instead of giving her the purple eyes, which were what her official eye color was, and instead of giving her the green eyes like the fans wanted, they gave her blue eyes. Which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Sonia with blue eyes just doesn't look right to me. And then as for Manic, instead of giving him his official blue eyes, instead of giving him his fan-made orange eyes, they gave him pink eyes. Okay. And they kept Queen Melina's eye color the same, because no one cared what Queen Melina's eye color looked like. They were fine with the way it was. But Manic, pink eyes? Okay. So, and since this is canon to the Sonic Underground game, to the Sonic Underground show, I keep wanting to say video game, but show, that means that what was considered a thing before with Manic having blue eyes and Sonia having purple eyes, I guess now that isn't considered canon anymore, and now Manic with pink eyes and Sonia with blue eyes is now considered canon. So, apparently what was the official eye colors have been changed now. Okay. I mean, I don't mind Manic with pink eyes. I do think it's kind of strange, but I don't mind it. Sonic with blue eyes, though, I just can't get used to. I just can't. Something about it does not feel right to me. But other than that, okay, they didn't show their father. They did their eye colors a little bit weird, but on that, okay. But then I have nothing to say. No Tails. They should have introduced Tails, even if it was just a small cameo, or it was just a reference to Tails. Something of Tails. That was meant to be the biggest thing in season 2. Not their father, but Tails. Because they have Knuckles, they just didn't have Tails. They were meant to introduce Tails, but they never did. And this comic book does not show Tails. Even the rumored video game was said to have Tails in it. But this does not have Tails at all. So that's great. So that's left out. But that's not a mystery or anything. Only the father was the mystery. Tails was never even mentioned in the show, so this is not a cliffhanger or mystery thing that the comic book didn't fulfill or explain. But that's not the end. No, that's not the end. One more thing. Those super forms. Sorry I had to stop recording so quickly. My sister came downstairs. So yeah. So okay, now the super forms. I was happy. Because the super forms never officially happened, and I loved the idea of a Super Manic. Even though we had artwork on what they would look like, we just never officially got them. And my brother always said, but you can't say man can go super because that was never officially a thing in the show. I'm like, and now I would use the video game as backup, but now I can't use that as backup. For a while, I was like stuck. I was like, man, I had nothing to make man go super. Like nothing official, just my own wanting of man to go super in my combo. So I have no reason to make man go super because man never actually goes super at the time. That's what I thought. But now I know that because of the comic book that came out before I even found out the game wasn't real. Comic book, man, it goes super. So does Sonya. Now, what Sonya super form originally looked like, due to artwork, was she had white fur. Like her fur was white. And there was a pink tinge on the edge of her quills. That's my dog's playing with his toys. If you wonder what that squeaking sound is. But yeah, pink tinge on the edge of her quills. But her fur just was white, basically. That's what it was. Then, like, Sonya's head, like, her head normally would be, like, a dark, like, pink color. While her quills would be, like, a normal pink. Well, this just made everything white. So, okay. That's just how it was. Well, this new Sonya form, and, like, also Sonya's super form gave her red eyes, like Sonic had was red eyes. Well, this new super form in the comic book still makes her quills white. That hasn't changed. But the color of her head isn't white, like her quills. Instead, they did a different color, like how Sonya normally has a head that is a different color than from her quills. And the color of the head is a really bright blue. And her eye color has been changed from red to yellow. And to be honest, when looking at this, I actually prefer this new version of Super Sonya. I prefer it, and I like it. So I like that they did this. Good choice. They changed it. Because the old Super Sonya just seemed kind of plain. This does not seem plain. I like that they did this. Super manic. But that, okay, going back to Super Sonya, that's not much of a change. Just the eye color change and her head kind of changed. And that's it. And also the pink tinge around her quills was gone, but that's it. But not much of a change. But Manix was a huge change when he turned super in the comic book. Originally, Manix super form was, like, he was like this golden orange. Like, Sonic's just yellow. But Manix was like a golden orange. And, of course, had red eyes. Well, and of course his vest was still red like it is normally and all that. Well, reason why I'm pointing out the vest, you'll hear in a sec. Well, Manic Superform, wow, turns, now it's officially just red. His fur is now red, officially, and his eyes turn blue, and his vest turns blue. Now, Sonya's clothes changed too when she turned super, but that's always been the fact. So I didn't mention that. But Manic's clothes changing, that's new. I like the blue vest. I love the red fur. I don't know how I feel about the blue eyes being put with the red fur, though. If I could have done it, I would have not done wet blue eyes. I wouldn't have done wet eyes. Don't get me wrong, I would not have done wet eyes, but I wouldn't have done blue eyes either. What color would I have done? I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like you could pick a better color than yellow. I would have done yellow. I know they probably don't want to do the same thing as Sonya, but I would definitely do a blue. I would definitely do yellow eyes for Manic when he turns super. I would prefer that, but either way, I don't care. I'm not going to nitpick at a lot of things. I currently have nitpicked at a lot of things, just because of the fact that it wasn't lined with what was originally the case. But this is the case now. This is what's canon, so I have to deal with that. I'm not that upset over Tails not being introduced. I am a little bit, down that they didn't do anything about their father. But I'm not upset about them changing their eye colors that much. I mean, I wish they kept the original, but I'm not that upset about it. I'm not upset anyway about the change of the super forms. I like it. It's way better the way it is now. But other than that, a few things changed. It was like it should be, and it was perfect. I loved it. It was amazing. It brought all the characters back, even because we hadn't seen for a while. It brought them back. It did the robot-sized Uncle Chuck fight with Sonic. It did that. That was awesome. I mean, it didn't show them. Sonic didn't actually fight him. He dodged his attacks, but basically we got to see Uncle Chuck again. Not just in the first episode. But, and just because it's comic form does not mean they left a song out. No, they did a song. And guess what song they did? They did the theme song. Instead of doing just a random song for each episode, they did a theme song. They did the official theme song. So that was interesting. But I just loved it. The artwork was amazing. I loved it. This was worth the 22 years? This was like worth the 22 years of waiting for this. I have the picture of all three of them being super from the comic book. I have that picture. I screenshotted it. I put it as my phone lock screen because I love it. But now moving on, because I spent a lot of time Sonic around because that's what this video is mostly about. Now moving on to Sonic X. Sonic X, as we know, had only 3 seasons. There was a rumor back in the day that after Sonic 06 came out, there was a 4th season released only in Japan. And the 4th season featured a new villain named Nazo. Some people pronounce his name Nazo, but I heard it originally pronounced Nazo. And it would also feature Silver, Blaze, and Mephiles. Well, this, of course, is not real. I mean, if it was real, I think we would have gotten first. But now we got a few pictures, like Silver and Blaze, and we got one picture of Mephiles, and that's it. And then we got like a trailer for it, what looks like a fan-made trailer for it. And then we got a picture of Nazo. That's it. Who knows any of that's real? I mean, let's be honest. Who knows any of that's real? But hey, maybe it's real, but I highly doubt it. I mean, it's not even on DVD, so I don't think that's the case. But no, but now Sonic X only came back, if you think about it, because so that rumor was the thing about it, that rumor died out. There was nothing. Sure, there was still some merch sold, but it was just like a few plushies, and that was it. There was nothing of Sonic X. Nothing. It was a bit big in fandom. Some people were doing reactions to it, but there was just nothing really of Sonic X. Because the show was done, nothing. It's just... And then eventually it did die out. I think like after 2014, it died out, and it was just done. No, like, it was rarely even thought of, really. Unless if you do like watching shows and stuff, then you would think about it. But if you just thought about Sonic in general, Sonic X would not come to mind. But that all changed, I think, in 2019 or was it 2020? It was one of those 2 years, or even maybe 2018, when Sonic X officially came out on Blu-ray with all 3 seasons. I actually have it. I have that DVD set. And fans were like surprised by this, like, okay. And they're thinking, they actually like thought of a season 4 came to their mind, but like, nah, that probably would never happen. They thought maybe they just decided to finally release it on Blu-ray because it was only on DVD. Well, then it got even crazier because Netflix, I think this was in 2020, and Netflix, I keep on messing up my words. Netflix got the rights to Sonic X, and they put the first 2 seasons of Sonic X on Netflix. They still haven't put season 3 yet, and it's 2022. I'm like, what are you doing, Netflix? But I mean, that's okay. I mean, sure, season 3 is my favorite season, but okay. But yeah, so they still haven't put season 3 on it, but they put the first 2 seasons, and Netflix has the rights to Sonic X now. So my thing is, they could easily do a season 3. And with Sonic Adventure 3 potentially happening, because Sega says they want to do it, and it's been all these years, and there's rumors that if they do Adventure 3, it probably will be based off the Marek saga of Sonic X. This could be big for Sonic X. And Netflix, now at making Sonic Prime a thing, and other stuff that Netflix being so big in the show industry, they could easily make a season 4 for Sonic X. They don't even have to get the old voice actors back. Just get what the voice actors that do the current Sonic voices characters, and get them to do the voice acting, because it's not that much different, and just do it, and then bam, just make the season happen, and you got a 4th season. Introduce Nazo. I just pronounced his name how some people do it. Sorry. Introduce Nazo. Introduce Netflix, introduce Silver, introduce Blaze. I'm having trouble saying some of these words for some reason. Like I'm mumbling, like I'm mixing up on my words. Just because I'm so excited of this whole Sonic Underground thing, and it's nighttime, and I found this out this morning. But either way, make this happen. Do a season 4. Now that Netflix owns it, it's on Blu-ray. There's huge rumors going on that season 4 may happen. And a lot of Sonic X artwork's been going on recently. And fans making artwork of what each game, if Sonic X never ended, and like what if it took based off of each game. I'm saying because of all this, I mean, if Sonic Underground returned, if Sonic Saturday M is returning, it's like Sonic Underground returned in comic book format. Sonic Saturday M is returning. Probably just like a year from now. That's when I assume that they're finally going to finish season 3 and release it. Then they could easily bring back Sonic X season 4. And this wouldn't be like, oh, Archie doing it online, or like doing it like some company that doesn't make comic books anymore, something like that, doesn't do Sonic stuff that much anymore, doing it online. Or this wouldn't be like some fan getting the rights to it and doing it. No, this would be Netflix. High money. I feel like Netflix would make so much money off of season 4. And now that there's rumors even for Micro Story Mode season 3 happening, if Micro Story Mode season 3 is rumored to happen now, who says Sonic X season 4 can't be rumored to happen? Because the reason I'm making those two comparisons is because the first 5 episodes of season 1 of Minecraft Story Mode are on Netflix. Okay, so I'm like, who says it can't happen? I'm saying there's a high possibility that Netflix may one day bring back Sonic X for season 4. I wouldn't put it past them. And I will be there when it happens. I'll be happy and excited, jumping up and down. I'll be doing the same thing with Sonic Saturday and finally comes out whenever that YouTube channel decides to finish the show. But currently I'm just waiting for, since I got now Sonic Underground, and Sonic Saturday is probably a year away, I'm just waiting patiently for Sonic Frontiers information to release for the Sonic Movie 2. We just got confirmation on Knuckles' show and a Sonic Movie 3. And I'm waiting patiently for Sonic Prime. And I'm waiting patiently for that YouTuber to do his part 3 of Sally.exe cartoon animations. He's been teasing part 3 for a while now, but he still hasn't done it yet, so I'm waiting for that patiently. So there's a lot of Sonic animation to keep me occupied. Oh, Sonic Origins, that too. It's nice to see that Sonic Underground returned. I can't wait until Sonic Saturday if season 3 officially comes out. Who knows if Sonic X season 4 will happen? It may happen, who knows? But yeah, it was fun finally doing another episode of my podcast. Give this one episode a good rating. And if you watch it via YouTube, if I upload this on YouTube, because I don't upload all my episodes on YouTube, but if I do upload this, then do that too. Give it a like. Okay, I'm going. Booyah.